Hello. Let's try this out. It's been a while since I've recorded anything, and I'm at a really strange time in my life, which gives me more time to play video games, but also makes a lot of other things difficult. And I know that's a real thing that a lot of people go through, and I'm not trying to complain about it, just putting it out there that it's a thing. Um, but besides all that, I really like the game Banished. And there's enough content on YouTube already that teaches you how to play the game and shows you really cool builds and stuff like that. People make some really nice colonies. um, but I'm just gonna play it because I really like playing it, and it's a fun, stress-free single-player game, and you're not gonna want to watch me play it because I pause a lot while I'm doing my building and everything. I'm one of those players. I don't know if we have a term, a name. I don't know. But regardless, we're gonna get right into this. I just built a new PC, so I've had a whole bunch of builds in this in the past that just keep slowly getting erased as time goes on because they save to the hard drive and not to Steam servers or anything like that. That's the thing? Steam servers? Do I know what I'm talking about? I probably don't know what I'm talking about. Let's call this town the Bug and the Bear? Oh, you are not nice. Alright, we're gonna have to do this shit. Bear. That's not how you spell bear. Bear. Map seed. I'm not partial to a specific seed. I do like valleys over mountains. I feel like there's a lot more building space when you do that. We'll go large just because that's fun. We never take up all the space. Actually, you know what? We never take up all the space. We'll go medium. Climate, I like to do fair. Disasters, I like to do off just because I really don't like spending all my time building a city that just like engulfs itself in flames or has a tornado just pass through it because of coding. I don't know. It's just it's a personal thing. All right, I don't have to impress you guys. Disasters off, motherfuckers. Starting conditions medium. So hard is fucking. It's not hard, but it's just it makes the beginning of the game a little more stressful. Medium's kind of nice. You start with enough to just get going without everybody like immediately being homeless and starving to death. And then easy is just kind of easy. It basically just makes it so you don't need to build houses right off the bat, pretty much, and kind of helps you out a few other places. But we'll go medium. The bug and the bear, we're gonna fucking capitalize the N too, because make it look like a goddamn Burger King or something. Hear that? Did you get all that? The bug and the bear. The bug, Lily, obviously. The bear, Luca. My two little strays. They're pretty cool. I don't get to see them as much anymore, but still get to see them, which is nice. So like I said, immediately pause. It's the first thing I do. And then I'm going to check out my land, and it seems like we have really cool land to start off with. Immediate mining, which is really nice. Looks like an area right here, probably big enough to start setting up herbalist huts and foresters and hunting and all that fun stuff that we like to group together. Obviously plenty of fishing, be able to probably end up putting it on this side just because it's closer to base and we don't have to expand as far, but we get a trading post in here pretty soon. So yeah, I really, really like this map. First thing I'm going to do is go into the settings and start pulling out all these things that I like to use. I don't immediately use all of them, but some of them I do, and I feel like every single time I play this game, I put these in a different position. And I don't know why I do that, but we're going to do you two here, you two here. You can't be quite right there because my little shadow play symbols are there, and I can't see it. Regardless, I don't really use you at all until I just get a bearing on where I am. So big lake down here, big lake over here, big river running straight up the middle of the map. Really fun. We'll be able to probably expand up and west right off the bat. North and west, up and left. Why don't I just pick one or the other, you know? So let's get started. Usually the first thing I do, obviously, is everybody's fucking homeless. Nobody can take care of themselves nowadays. I usually like to just kind of build right near base if I can. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to do that one. See if we can turn it. And that looks pretty nice. Keep space in between each one. We'll leave this side of the storage open in case we want to add additional storage. So put him there. I think you need 5 right off the start, but let's, you know what, there's 10 of them. I'm not worried about anybody dying, so yeah, let's just put another house up right away. Just keep you right in a line, I guess. We'll probably end up putting some farmland or something behind them. Obviously, you got to clear all these rocks and trees and iron and everything. So we got our 5 houses. Don't know why I did that. We'll put this house on pause for now so that we can get... there's a lot of fishing options. We'll do fields right off the bat. It's usually what we end up doing. We'll put them back here. It's a little uncommon. I'm not used to doing it this way, but let's see how much space we can get. 7 deep from there. That's only 6. I don't know how much I like that. Turn E and Q. So yeah, if we come right off the back here, let's start from the corner of... Yeah, that's much better. So we can go all the way back to 12, 14 here? Holy crap, I was not expecting that. 14 by 10 is pretty big. There's not really anything else we're going to put back there, so... Actually, what I haven't usually done is made really slender crop fields, so let's do this. We'll do 6 by 14s. That way we can fit a few of them in there without taking up an exuberant amount of space. Actually, we'll do 7 by 14. That way they can make nice squares. So we'll get you being built right away. Once everybody figures out what they're doing. Timer, I usually keep beefed up most of the time, unless I'm pausing to build shit. So I guess it kind of balances itself out. Maybe not. Stick this back down to 5. So just like that, pretty much all the houses are good. We do immediately need... Well, this is early spring, so they're not going to be cold for a while, but we do want to get a woodcutter going. And no matter how many times I play this game, I never get used to these symbols. I don't know why, but... so the woodcutter we can at least kind of get ready to go. Are to rotate the buildings. I kind of want to end up doing a market or something in here, so let's actually do this. I don't often do this, but we're going to go way ahead of what we actually want to build and then build it as we need it. So, first things first, we're going to want a market pretty much center of town here. As soon as you walk out your door, you're in a fucking market. Welcome to the market. Maybe not as soon as, because I think I might want to put a nice 2-tile walking path all the way around this. So we'll say you're going to go right there. I gotta get used to not doing that as well. Pause you, and don't worry about you at all, and that gives us kind of a base around where we want to build. That way we don't need to try to destroy and move things later on. So the woodcutter will pretty much come right up to the other end here. So he can come up to there. So if we pull him one more out, that's our 2-tile walking path. And he looks pretty good right there. We'll actually move him over to, let's see here again, 1, 2, 2. And that way we can keep the path going beside him as well, pull out this way, and that gives us pretty much a straight shot right to the river. We can build a bunch of other stuff on the other side of it, put the market down here, put some fishing up here or something, or sorry, not the market, the trading post. Another thing I guess we'll kind of just get ready now. So, looks like you're going to be able to go right there. It's pretty much right on the back side of, you can't come out any further. So it needs to be in at least that much. Just nervous that it kind of ruins that space between it and the market. It's hard to build anything there because nothing's really that small in size other than like the well or something. It does look like you could go down here. I feel like that's a little nicer of a spot too. It's kind of that turning point. You're slowing down anyway. Yeah, that'll be a good spot for a market. So we'll pause you. Fishing, we'll definitely want to get started soon, but for now we won't bother with it too much. I guess there really doesn't need to be a space in between you two since you're right on the water, so yeah, we'll actually put you right up against the trading post. Oh, it looks like it's one and the same. Really nice area that it's taking up in the water. God damn it. So obviously the bigger this perimeter sees water, I don't know if you're able to catch more fish. Honestly, I don't really know. So we got our houses. We almost have our first source of food. It is still early spring, but by the time we get those crops going, it's going to be at least into spring. Probably still be good. We do need to get that going before we get this house going, which is kind of a bummer because we still got 4 people homeless. See here and here. So this is almost done. Just got 5 more trees to take care of, 4 more. So we're still into early spring. It's nice, and spring. Just as getting started. We'll do corn right off the bat. Why not? So they want at least 1 person there, so we'll do 2 just to kind of get the crops rolling. Season 1. Get another crop field ready where this one is. So another 14 by 7. That'll look really nice when it's all done. We'll get them building. Oh, they were already building the fishing dock. That's nice. Take a couple more people off of building and have them fish. There's a lot of resources around us right now. I usually get going with a forester like right off the bat, which then kind of triggers me to do hunting and herbalist and all that stuff that kind of just goes out in the woods together, but there seems to be kind of an abundance around us between rock, iron, obviously a lot of trees. So to keep from completely running out of inventory for right now, we'll just do a mass remove resource and kind of clear out this area that's going to be the majority of our city living. So obviously that's an abundance of trees, but then we can switch over and just collect iron, and then we can go a little bit further out, grab all this stuff that I didn't initially catch. So, a couple more pieces here. And we'll make sure that we grab a couple extra stone as well. That should be good for right now. It gives our builders something to do while they're not building anything else. We got the woodcutter going already. It's still spring, and we want to use our trees for building more than firewood right now. We don't have any firewood, so maybe we do want to get him going sooner rather than later. Actually, we will, just so we don't have to stress about it later on. They start with clothes? They start with clothes. There's only 11 right now, so they're going to wear out of those pretty much the first winter. So we're going to want to get a tailor going as well pretty soon here. Looks like he'll fit pretty nicely right here. It's not the button I meant to hit. So 1, 2... It looks a little nicer, kind of set back like that though, so maybe we'll do that and just have them off the road. I guess we can set him right there. That's not bad. He doesn't need to get built right away though. Hold off on him. We do need to get this house built right away. Kind of forgot about him. There's still 4 people that are struggling. We're going to want to set our max holds up. So this is basically just telling you how many of each thing you can carry. It gets helpful at some point, I think. I don't know. I usually just kind of end up putting these up and up and up until... it's good with like tools and clothes and stuff like that, because if you don't have more than 50 people, you really don't need more than 50 tools or clothes, and it keeps you from continuously using those resources to make those things if you don't have to. Stuff like herbs, pretty much as soon as you start collecting them, you're good. Food, I always just jack up right away, because you're always going to need food, you're always going to be expanding your civilization. It just makes it easier. Alright, so we got them collecting a bunch of stuff. They're going to make this nice little, very industrial looking perimeter around the base. And kind of gets us going off the start. We will want to do forester pretty soon, just so we don't have to keep clear cutting like we're doing. Houses, we don't need any more right away. We did have 3 babies born though, so maybe one more house wouldn't be a terrible idea. We'll hold off on that for right now. The school. Okay, so definitely want to pause for this one. The school is huge. I usually try to get this built as soon as I start building, like even putting up this is kind of usually more than I do before I stick this in here. The school is absolutely crucial. It obviously does exactly what it says it does. It educates your people, and every person who's educated does their job better, and all you're doing, if you look in the bottom left, is managing jobs, pretty much. This whole game as you build. There's no attacking force, there's no... I mean, the weather is an attacking force if you have that on, but no. So, I don't know, it's a relaxing game for me. Stoner genre, or whatever the kids call it nowadays. So we're pretty much going to put him right here. We want that path in between him and him. Actually, we probably don't want that there. As nice as it is to be close, that looks ridiculous. Maybe if we do the school behind all the houses, it seems kind of nice and appropriate. Seems like kind of a nice spot for a school. Let's do that. We'll put that there. We'll get them building it right away. The downside about the school, obviously, is if you don't have the school, your people just go from being born to being adults, basically. I actually don't know if the timestamp is the same on both of them, because I think I've always just put the school in there to start getting people, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if somebody goes from being born to being in school to being a functioning adult that can work a job or whatever in the same span that somebody will just go from being born to being an adult. I think the school adds an additional like year or something like that before they can start working. So obviously it slows you up a little bit in getting workers, but it's better overall, I think. They do their jobs better, they do them faster or whatever. It's kind of nice. The other thing I usually do is take the crop field and stick him somewhere on the screen, just so I can watch him, and that way, as soon as every season is done being yielded, and the people working that job don't need to be working that job anymore, I can throw them on something else. Being that I only have 2 fishermen, what I'll end up doing is, as soon as they collect all, which they just did, we'll wait for them to get back to the barn. Woodcutter's already loaded, because we haven't even gotten to a single winter yet. But we'll leave him in here. Just, we don't need to worry about him. He's just one guy. He's kind of nice to just always have in there, make sure that firewood is always fully stocked. So once these guys are done, what I'll do is turn off working. I'll take the 2 people, I'm so used to this being in any corner other than the one it's in, off of being a farmer, and I'll stick them being fishermen, because you can have up to 4 fishermen per dock. And that way it just kind of cycles and keeps the food coming in through the winter season when nobody's in the farm fields, which is also why the fields kind of take a backseat in, you know, later parts of the game, because you don't want to constantly be doing that every single season, pulling people out and taking them out. But that's pretty starter for us. That's almost exactly where we want to be. We can get this crop field started as well, and that way we can put more people on harvesting food next season. We won't worry about building as much, just because it's really important to get that food stock going right away. Storage for log, stone, and iron is near capacity. That's kind of a nice thing. That's what we want. So it is at capacity. So I always do this. I take, let's see, where's collection? Right here. Stockpile. I usually just take it, and when I start, I throw it right next to the one that's already there. I don't know why I do that, because it's actually kind of nicer to have those in multiple spots, especially once you have the market built. They'll pull from wherever. I know that I'm going to be going this way to do the forester and everything, so what I'm actually going to do with this one is try to find the corner of, let's see, looks like it might be right here. Trying to find the corner of the trading post, and that way there can be a stockpile near the trading post, which is also a really nice spot to have it. The trading post pulls for like firewood and really firewood with the stockpile, because I do tools as well, but those you're gonna get from barn. So we'll do a 6x6. I think that'll be a good contrast to the one that's currently there. It's going to be way more space than we need, but it's just there and it's ready to go. That'll be nice too when we're doing the forester and everything. From right here, they can just bring it over to here. Usually I build one right in the same area. I talk about this too much, so let me just get it started right now, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So a forester, they're obviously going to just cycle through trees pretty much. You always want to put this circle a little back from where your city is. That way you can expand your city a little more, but also stay out of the way of obstructing his ability to plant, grow, and then harvest trees. So I think right there is probably going to be good. I think our city is going to start going more east, north, and west than it will this like south-southwest direction. So that'll be fine for him right there. We'll pause him right away because we're not going to go on him right this second. A herbalist used to gather herbs and provide simple health and healing for citizens. That's really nice. Kind of later in the game when we start getting more citizens, we start getting nomads and whatnot. They can bring like diseases with them and everything. So I usually just put the herbalist right next to the forester because the herbalist needs trees to gather. Kind of simple. Sorry, pause him as well. And then we'll come over to a food source, and we have the hunting cabin. Hunting cabin is obviously going to be most beneficial in the woods. What I'll usually do is take him and put him right across the road from the hunting cabin. He seems to have almost the same exact radius. And that allows him to be able to hunt through the woods where deer are most often populated. And there's one more. I think I usually end up putting like a barn out here. I usually do the stockpile out here, which we don't need to do this time. And then I think that's kind of it. Those three buildings. I'll end up putting a couple houses out here. That way the people working these professions don't need to travel as far to and from work. I'm not going to put the storage barn in right away, but what I will do is kind of get the houses ready. And again, I don't space everything out like I would in the city. Over here, I'm trying to keep things as close as possible, and that way they're taking up less space with everything else in, you know, having their radius abilities and whatnot. You don't want to put a forester out there and then have the forester have nowhere to plant and cut down trees, you know? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So all that's going. We'll pause you. Pause you. Let's see. Yeah, 5 builders building on 3. The fishermen are going to go back to farming by the end of the season. This is going to start getting built. Well, at least on pause for now. So that's what I kept talking about over and over again with what I was going to do in the woods, is just kind of that sort of setup right there. I usually do get the farming going right off the bat. We'll try to get the trading post going as soon as possible so we can start getting some stuff in there to trade, to start getting like cattle and sheep. Good for making like clothing, I think. Yeah, with the woolen. We'll start getting different kinds of crops, all kinds of good stuff. So we're still at capacity. Doesn't seem like this is much importance to anybody, so we'll increase priority on that. And if we just do one click anywhere on the building that we're trying to build, it kind of turns people's attention to, oh shit, that needs to get built. So you'll see like 5 people will immediately come over and just take down the trees that are taking up that space. And that way, all this stuff that we've just collected that's literally just sitting out because we have nowhere else to put it, because this is all full, we'll start going into here. We should start building, obviously, right away. We'll bring this capacity up as well, just so we have it. We end up using that as a big trader later on. Goes for a lot of money. Tools, we're already down to 26, so I guess we'll start working on that next, which is... Damn. Blacksmith. So we'll turn him, we'll stick him somewhere kind of in here. I guess that keeps us with our double around, but... You're right there, that'll look nice. Guess we'll get you going as well. We just have... I'm not really used to clear cutting that much right off the bat, so I'm not used to having this much resources to work with. But we'll just kind of get everything going ahead of schedule. The other thing you can do right away, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but you can at least get the dirt path going, and that just gives you the ability to have your people move a little faster. I usually don't build this stuff right away just because it doesn't really need to be built. Kind of takes up builders' time, but probably make the place look a little nicer. So we'll throw it in there. So you'll see they're building this path. And it basically just increases their walking speed a little more. You can upgrade to stone, but it obviously takes stone to build later on, and it makes them move even faster. That's something I really hold off on until I'm, already have quarries going, already have plenty of stone coming in, and I don't need to worry about it. So we're still in winter. Once that reaches early spring, we'll do a pause, we'll switch over some builders and fishermen back to the crop fields. We got 2 of them now, almost. As soon as somebody takes care of that last tree, hey, you. That person just came over to take care. Might have been a child. It was a child. Fucking children. So we're still healthy. We're very happy, which is nice. Once you get the brewery in here and you start getting different beers going and stuff like that, it's pretty easy to keep the happiness up. Go figure. So we're into late winter now. And I'm probably going to do really short videos, and I'm kind of just going to do these ×5 speed 1 year videos, because that is all my attention really works for anyway. And it splits it up. Not everybody needs to have these marathons, you know? But we got a lot going in the first year at least. Obviously not everything built right away, but stuff kind of in place and what we want to build right off the bat. Houses, I'll probably just stretch kind of around this side as I put a couple more of, the important buildings in. Schoolhouse. Nobody's going on that yet? Animals. Alright, so we're in early spring. We'll unpause you. You're working corn, so you're going to work bean. So usually you always get 2 crop and 1 orchard right off the bat. I don't know why I never do the orchards right off the bat. I think it's because they take a couple of years before they start actually harvesting, because obviously the trees need to grow, which, it makes sense. It does. This little square we got here, that's good. But go with that right there. We will pause you just so we can get the schoolhouse going. The blacksmith, we're down to 23 already, so we're gonna chance it. We really want to get that school going. That way we can have 3 people going on just the school. Where did all these laborers come from? What in the world? Why did I have everybody in labor? Alright, regardless. Put a bunch more people in builder. Oh, because I'm about to make farmers, dipshit. Who fucking taught me how to do this, Alright, so we're going to have 4 people going into the fields. We'll up you to 2 as well. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll pretty much get us going for the first year. We're into year 2. We'll start adding some stuff later. I don't know. It'll be a nice big road out to all this shit here. Oh, that'll be really nice if it comes right off that corner. It doesn't look like it's going to. It looks like it's going to be one off, but that's okay. So yeah, year 1 of Banished. Hope you enjoyed. Later.